So today's hard truth, something most of you are not going to want to listen to or hear, but the people that get you to a million won't get you to three, and the people that get you to three won't get you to five, and the people that get you to five won't get you to 10. Why we always say, always be hiring, always be hiring, always be hiring.
Curious what business owners are doing to double revenue, have more cash flow, work less hours, and provide a better lifestyle for their family? Dive into the world of business growth that leads to guaranteed wealth. Your hosts, Dr. Laura Shwaluk and Jerry Kezhaya. Grow and get answers to your business and investment questions that provide clarity, move you forward, and inspire you to reach your goals. Welcome to this edition of the Business Builders Intensive. My name is Dr. Laura Shwaluk, and my co-host is Jerry Kezhaya. We have a very special guest with us today. I'm very excited about this. I know that you guys might not be, because we're going to be talking about systems and hiring, but our special guest with us today is Jhana Li of Spyglass Operations, Spyglass Ops. So Jhana, tell us a little about yourself, how you got started in systems and helping people hire the people that they need to take their business to the next level.
Yeah, I am so excited to be here with you guys today. I got my start in operations. I always say that I kind of like whoopsied my way into being a COO. So I got my start learning about operations, not as an entrepreneur needing to scale, but as the second in command operator, seeing the inside of first one seven-figure business. We scaled that one up, then we scaled a second multiple seven-figure business together. And by seeing the inside of the business operations and seeing all of the bottlenecks and all of the places that things broke down, that is really what got me started in entrepreneurship, was through that operational lens. I then became the head operations coach in a coaching program that had hundreds and hundreds of seven and eight figure business owners in it. So I got to pull data, not from just my business and just my team, but hundreds of different businesses. I got to see hundreds of different challenges. And on the flip side, I got to slowly extract all the patterns, all the best practices, the things that actually work when it comes to not just scaling an eight-figure company, but scaling the founder out of the day-to-day weeds of the machine that they have built so that it can start to run without them. And that is really what I'm excited to chat with you guys about today.
That is fantastic, because one of our biggest things that we promise all of our members is freedom. That they no longer are working in their business, that they are the visionary of their business, that they're not in the business, they really steer the ship. Yeah. And that is why it's so important to have the second in command and then the third, and have teams and team leads and all that good stuff. So before we really get into the hard truth of that, the people that got you to a million won't get you to three, and the people that get you to three won't get you to 10. Can you just tell us a little about the mindset that the business owner needs to go through to be able to step back and delegate?
I love that question. You are asking, actually, I think the root cause change that needs to take place. Because, right, like what my company does is we can place you a second in command operator. We can do that all day. But I have seen so many founders get this incredible operator in and then be unable or unwilling to delegate, to relinquish decision making, to step back when it comes to jumping in to save the day and put out every fire and pick up every dropped ball. It's really a mindset and a behavior change that needs to take place within the founder in order for their operator to be successful, in order for them to step back. And so as I've studied this through the hundreds of clients we've worked with, I think it comes down to one core belief that needs to change. And the belief is my success is dependent on me. When you are small, when you are just starting out, that belief serves you so well, right? How hard can I work? How many things can I try? How fast can I move? My success as an entrepreneur, as a founder, is dependent on myself, me, myself, and I, and what I can do to move my business forward and to figure out what my business is going to be. And to get to seven figures, that belief is 100% true. The challenge is that in order to scale to eight figures, you have to learn how to, I call it, stop being the MVP, like soccer player on the field, and learn how to become a coach. Yeah. You actually need to learn to step off the field, and you won't do that. You can't do that if you're still operating under the belief that my job is to be the MVP. If
Mhm.
something needs to get done, I need to do it. If a ball drops, I pick it up. If a fire goes off, I put it out, right? If you are always stepping back onto the field to run the play, then your team does not have the opportunity to rise and to learn how to run the play without you. And so founders find themselves in this self-fulfilling prophecy where they're
Mhm.
like, oh, but I want a team that's self-managing and I want to get out of the day-to-day weeds. But every time something happens, they're the first person to jump back in. And they create this dependency cycle, not realizing, right? And they look at their business and they're like, oh, well, if only my team was better, or if only my systems were better, or if only fill in the blank here, when in reality, it's if only I learned to become a coach, I would be able to empower a team that can run this play without me. And that's the mindset change that needs to take place first for anyone on your team, operator included, to be able to bring their best performance to the table.
That's awesome. We say there's two things that go along with that we teach. Your ability to grow is directly related to your ability to delegate. If you
Yeah.
cannot delegate, you just cannot grow,
Yeah.
right? And to support that, we also throw in the 5 rules. Hire good people,
Mm,
pay them what they're worth,
yes.
let them do their job, stay the
Yeah.
hell out of their way,
Yeah.
and check in frequently.
I
Man,
love that.
inspect what you expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those,
Mm-hmm.
those those are the 5 rules that if
I
you want
love
to
that.
grow your business, you must do those things.
Yeah.
So I
And I'll
want to,
offer one distinction on that one, Jerry, because I see a lot of multi 7 figure founders who are like, but Jerry, I do delegate. I delegate tasks all the time. My team is incredible at executing tasks without me. The next stage of leadership, the next stage of delegation is learning to delegate decisions. This is what I see hold founders back on the road to 8 figures. You have a team of task followers, but all the decisions, all the escalations, all the problems, all the ideas still filter up to you, the founder. You are the brain and your team is the hands. And
Mm,
in order to scale to 8 figures, you need to learn to develop other brains so that you are not the only person making decisions within the business. That is a much harder thing to delegate, but it is required if you ever want to build a high performance leadership team, people who can make decisions on your behalf. And that's what it's truly going to take to get out of the day to day completely.
yeah, beautiful.
and this is what I want to add to that is like, this is brilliant. What I want to add is that this is really important for somebody who has a single, let's say a single location, because you can
Mm,
be the coach of the single location. But when you want
yes,
to have multiple locations, then you
yes,
have multiple coaches then, and you are the owner of the team.
correct.
You're the owner of the, I love the sports analogy because we can
Yeah, I
all
love that.
relate to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the question I have for you now is, okay, so what does it take for the business owner to fire the person who no longer,
Mm,
when they finally get to the realization that that person has reached the top of their skill, but they've been
yep.
with them a long time. They're my
Yep.
friend. I can't let
Yep.
them go.
Yep.
What do you suggest? Where do they go from there?
100%. So one of my earliest operations mentor was Layla Hermosi, and she taught me this framework that she calls manage up or manage out. And it essentially works like this. The moment that you see underperformance within a role, the second you see it in any role, anywhere, we get to say something. We get to sit down with that person. And it starts with this is such an important piece. It starts with presenting the definition of success in that role, right? We can't give constructive feedback to somebody who is underperforming if they don't know what a player performance looks like. I can't expect you to magically have read my mind and know exactly what I need in this role and know exactly what I expect if I haven't communicated that to you. So
Mm.
the first step is, do we have a tangible, measurable, outcome-based definition of success for this role? Do we agree that this is what success in this role looks like? And have I communicated that to you? Because until I've done that, I honestly can't say whether or not you're capable of achieving the role as I've defined it because you didn't actually know the finish line that you were running towards. And so that's the first step is have we agreed on what that finish line is? And have I set you up for success to hit that finish line? Which doesn't just mean clarity. It means, do you have enough time in your day to do the deep work that needs to get done in order to achieve these outcomes? Do you have the systems and the processes that allow you to use your time effectively? Or are you like buried in day to day Slack messages and day to day meetings that are preventing you from executing at your highest, right? Like, have I defined success, set you up for success? And in that environment, you are still underperforming. Up until that moment, we cannot say definitively that it's the person who is not the right fit. It might be the process, or they might be in the wrong role. Again, there's no way of knowing unless we have established what a definition of success in that role looks like to begin with. So that's the first step, right? The tool that we use to help our clients do this is called the job scorecard. And you can go into ChatGPT and say, hey, build me a job scorecard for this role, work with me, customize this to my role, to my business. Let me make sure that I have presented clarity for this person, that when I say jump, I've actually told them how high. Okay, that's the first step.
Beautiful.
Then
That's
we get to
easy
measure
do,
them
too.
against that. So, and the final thing I'll say is like, do it right now, even before they are underperforming, right? Do it for every single role across your organization, because what you will unlock is people jumping higher, right? As we now have raised the bar, people will rise. And it's this beautiful thing, but they can't do that if we haven't set the expectations clearly. And once we've set the expectations and they are not rising and they are underperforming, now we have something to measure them against. We can't just say, hey, do better, be better. We can say, hey, you are underperforming across this metric by 5%. What are you going to do about this? And what do you need from me to course correct? So the first conversation, I think we've all heard, if we ever worked in corporate, of a PIP. A PIP is a performance improvement plan. It's like corporate speak for like your ass is about to be fired and I need to cover my liability. It's terrible. If the first time someone is hearing that there's a problem is when they're on the chopping block, we have failed as leaders. Because again, we've not given them clarity that there was a gap. We never gave them the opportunity to do anything about it because they never knew that there was a problem. So I advocate for having a pep talk. A pep talk is a personal elevation plan. Personal elevation plan says, here's the job scorecard, here's the definition of success. Here's you. This is the specific measurable, tangible gap to close. This is your gap to close. That part is so important. You own the responsibility of closing this gap. And I am your coach. What do you need from me in the way of support, accountability, training? What does that look like in order for you to close this gap? And we're going to agree to a 30-day timeline to create measurable improvement in this measurable way. Then we can escalate it. Go for it.
So many business owners, they let their employees do whatever it is the employee wants, and they're playing a game, and no one is ever looking at the scoreboard.
And nobody ever,
like
no one knows what the rules are for the game. How do you play the game?
How do you play the game?
And it's chaos, and it's amazing that they get any results at all, that they even got to 1 million. Actually, we had that conversation with one of our guys last week. He's like, man, I'm amazed that I got to almost 2 million. And my systems suck.
Yeah. So I think what's happening there is that they are compensating for disorganization with heroic effort.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we see. You can hustle your way to 3 million. I saw a client who hustled their way to 8 million. It was pretty impressive. But at some point, your ability to show up and work harder hits a limit. Yeah. There is only so much you can do.
There's going to be
only
burnout.
so much. Yeah. And there's only so much team underperformance that you can compensate for with your own time and energy. So whenever you're ready to do something about that, it's time to layer in role clarity, job scorecards, set clear KPIs, and then hold people accountable to the definition of success in that role. Up until you do that, you'll keep growing, but you will do it as a result of your own effort, and that is not scalable.
And it will be exhausting.
Yes.
It will be
you're gonna have a bad time.
Physically, mentally, freaking worn out.
Yes.
And this is
how do I know?
Yeah, how do we know? and these are the business owners, the founders that are working 80, 90, they're working 7 days a week, and they have a family, but their family doesn't get them.
Yes.
And that's a really horrible way to have a family. If you're there, like if who you are in your business needs to be different than who you are with your family, because your presence with your family is not as a leader of a business. Your presence is for men, it's the protector, the provider. For women, it is the supporter, enhancer. When I came home from work, I had to take off my leader, business owner, testosterone and say, hi, honey, here's my feminine me.
Yeah.
And because otherwise it's just going to be butting heads. It's just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Well, and I want to speak some grace to the entrepreneurs that are struggling with this right now, because like we said, right, the people who got us here, got us here. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's that first hire that has just been so loyal and so hardworking and has grown so much. Maybe it's a family member, it's a sibling, it's a spouse that believed in you and they stepped. We see this all the time in the COO role, right? It's like, I'm a founder and I just need a second in command that I trust. So I'm going to take the person that I trust the most in the world, which is my spouse, and I'm going to put them in this role. But there is no qualification for being a COO. They've never done this before. They're trying hard. They're doing their best, but they don't have the operator DNA and they don't have the skills and training to fill the role well. And so, of course, they're struggling and failing. And now I'm in this impossible decision because how do I hire my wife or fire my wife? We have fired so many wives,
Oh,
so
yeah.
many husbands, so many siblings, because and here's the process that we walk through it, which is I genuinely believe that our job as a founder is to build a version of our business that is a vehicle of growth for ourselves, growth for our families, growth for our clients, growth for our team, right? We are just a bus driver going on this journey, and our job is to get the right people on the bus who are going where we are trying to take them, and then recognize that at some point where they're going in their own journey might mean getting off and transferring to another bus because that's where they're trying to end up and it's no longer the right bus for where they're trying to go. And our job is to recognize that. Our job is to say, hey, this has been incredible. And thank you so much for the growth that we have given each other. And at some point, inevitably, like kind of 100% of the time, it's going to be the right time for you to get off the bus. And that's okay. So long as while we're together, we're doing incredible work. And then when your growth takes you in a different direction, the single highest form of love and service that I can deliver to you in this moment is the clarity and the willingness to have the uncomfortable conversation if it's time for your sake to get off the bus just as much as it is for ours.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's shift gears for just a moment because
and for the record, I had to fire my mother.
There you go. Right? We all have to do it.
We have helped
hard.
some of our guys fire their best friend,
Yeah.
fire their longtime,
fire their wife, fire
their parent, their parent.
But let's be honest, Jerry, is your relationship with, well, you don't actually have to answer this question, but like probably your relationship with your mother is better because now she gets to be your mother instead of your underperforming employee, right?
Yeah,
So like, yes, it's uncomfortable, but actually, if you love and care about this person so much, if you really do, then love means have the uncomfortable conversation because the relationship will suffer more for having the wrong person in the role that you love so much, but are unwilling to let go of and let them move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good because she went and started her own company and did
There
really
we go.
yeah. And,
Totally.
It was a perfect out for everybody. And
100%.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that they realize, okay, I got to let this person's not measuring up. How do I find the person that does measure up? How do I find that MVP?
Yeah.
Now that I'm the coach, how do I find the MVP?
Yeah. So we're kind of on this like second in command kind of role. So I'll use that as an example because that's what we do all the time. It starts again, same exact first step, which is I need radical clarity on what success in this role looks like. Right. And in the operator role, that is so true because what I most often see is that founders will go out and they will hire somebody with a fancy job title, right? COO. They will hire somebody who comes highly recommended out of their network, but they'll hire them without any clarity around what do I need in this role? What are the specific deliverables that this person needs to be able to execute? What are the specific skills and experience that they need to bring into the role, right? Not just, they've got a COO job title of a company that kind of looks like my company. No, what are the specific operational bottlenecks holding back your growth and your business? What are your unique goals? What's your unique culture and leadership style? This isn't round peg, round hole, right? We can't just go find somebody who kind of looks like a right fit, plug them in, and they're going to be successful. This is finding a custom puzzle piece that is so specific to your unique business, your unique culture, your unique style. This is your second in command. Right. And so we have to go find that person with specificity and precision. And if you can't articulate what that profile looks like, how the heck are you going to find them? We are shooting in the dark. Right. And sometimes we get lucky, but most often we do not. So it starts with building that job scorecard, but that job scorecard has to be so unique and specific to your unique business, your goals, and the role that you need filled. The more detail and specificity you have at the beginning, the more successful you will be and the faster you will be able to find this person. Because now hiring, we can build a custom hiring funnel that specifically filters out exactly that unique profile. And we can do it fast, right? We hire operators in 90 days or less because we know exactly what we are looking for. And so we can go out and we can find it. It is a sniper, not shotgun approach.
And there's two parts to your business. One is all of the systems, the standard operating procedures, but then there's also the hiring and training and making sure that that person's a right fit. So if somebody says, "Hey, you know what, I need help. I'd love some help in finding
Yeah.
this number two," how do they
Yeah.
reach you? What's the best way to
Yeah.
reach you?
Yeah, so my company is called Spyglass Ops. You can look us up, spyglassops.com. I will also drop a link, Laura, in the show notes here below. And that is specifically to our, like hire your operator in 90 days or less guarantee. And if people want to claim that guarantee, like they literally will not pay if we do not find this person in 90 days or less, then they can go ahead, click that link, and I'm happy to hop on a call with them directly and walk them through that.
Perfect. Okay. And there's probably a question of what does it cost? How much does
Sure.
it? Yeah. So they'll just need to jump on a call with you to talk about that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because again, before even getting into all of that, I want to make sure that again, this is the right fit. Are
Yeah.
we the right partner to find that unique puzzle piece? And if we're not, I will be the first person to tell you because you deserve that person who is the exact right fit for what your business needs. And you deserve an expert partner who is able to find you that person.
Awesome. Can you share with us a story of somebody
Mhm.
who went from one to
Yeah.
three and then had that breakthrough and got to 10?
Yeah. So we had a client that so we start with an operational audit, right? The way that we get radical clarity on what the business needs and who this operator profile is, we start with an audit so we can do that deep dive. And we had a client come in, he did the audit, we gave him the whole 12-month roadmap, we gave him the operator profile, and he was like, perfect, thank you so much, I'm good to go. I've got this. Beautiful. I wish you the best of luck. 18 months later, he came back and he's like, Jhana, I've hired and fired 3 operators. None
Mm.
of them worked out. Can we go again? We came back in, we did the audit again. And what was so heartbreaking about this, Dr. Laura, is that it was the same audit. Like we compared the reports side by side.
Wow.
Nothing had changed. Like at a fundamental root cause level, nothing had changed. He had spent 18 months. For him, that was like 6 million in opportunity costs, lost growth that
Wow.
could have come into the business in 18 months that couldn't. 3 operators and all the time and energy required to find those people, train those people, fire those people, 6 figures plus in wasted salary, right? Like all of this. And the report was exactly the same. And the reality of like how we do our work is that we don't just go out, we don't just find operators. We work directly with the CEO founder to create a runway, to create space and set the business up so that it is ready to receive the right operator when it comes in. We work directly with our CEO founders on the mindset and the behavior changes, things that we were talking about at the beginning of this conversation around how does the founder need to grow and evolve in order for an operator to be successful? How does the team need to get restructured? How does the strategic vision need to get set and operationalized, right? We build these things directly with our clients before the operator even steps in so that when they enter the business, they are set up for success. They know exactly what needs to get done and they can go to work. Because without that comprehensive approach, what we find is I can get you the best operator in the world. Like he may have hired a great, incredible second in command. One of those 3 was probably really good. And they still didn't work out, not because the operator failed the business, but because the business failed the operator. And we need to solve for that. As soon as I just checked in with him, his new operator, I think she's in her 3rd month. And what is mind boggling to him is that she's the first person on his team that he hasn't needed to quote unquote manage, right? Everyone else on his team is a task taker. Everyone else is somebody that he has to show up and tell them what to do every single day. And our
Wow.
coaching to him on this new operator was here's how to get out of her way. She is a thoroughbred. Let her run. And it's just been such an incredible experience to watch his growth and the relief that he now feels because he's like, wow, I don't have to compensate for this person. I don't have to overmanage this person. I've got the right person in the right seat. I just need to set strategic clarity and then let her run towards it. And it's been transformational.
And I want to kind of pick this apart a little bit because it's not
Yeah.
about giving up control. Because
Right.
that's when people jump in to do something, it's like
Yeah.
no one else can do it better than me. I'm the one. I need to
Yep.
be the hero here. It's not about giving up that control. It's about a strategic placement so that you can evolve, so your business can evolve, so that
Yeah.
you can have the money, the freedom, the investments, the legacy,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
the generational wealth that you want to
Yeah.
create, and have time to be with your family who
Yeah.
also needs you.
I think it's an evolution of what control looks like, right?
Yeah,
When you're
yeah,
small, control looks like show up every day, tell everybody exactly what needs to get done, double check everyone's work, make sure it's all correct, make sure all the due dates get hit, right? It's that active control. When you have true A players with job scorecards, so they know what success looks like, control moves into context. My job is to make sure that my team has absolute strategic clarity on where we are going. My job is to make sure our team is so trained up in our ethos and in our core values that when they make a decision without me, they make the right decision. They make the decision that I would have made, but they do it without me because they've got all the context, which includes our culture, our strategy, how we treat our patients, our clients, et cetera, right? Control looks like control through context instead of control directly. Context is scalable. Micromanagement is not. And so we have to grow and evolve, right? I always say delegation is not the same thing as abdication. When you step off of the field, you're a coach. You're not walking out of the stadium. You are just as involved in that game. But how you show up to the game grows, evolves, it looks different. How you control the outcome of that game grows, evolves, looks different. And so that's the leadership level up that your
yeah.
team needs from you in order for them to be able to play this game without you.
It's definitely an elevated level, a different way of thinking, a different,
Yeah,
it's much more expansive.
it is.
And so in wrapping up, oh my gosh, it feels like this has gone by so fast.
It
In
You
has.
know,
yeah,
And it's so
in
fun
we can talk about this forever.
right?
yeah,
Oh my God, when you have someone who's so on fire and passionate about what they do, I love these calls. They're
Yeah. Thank you guys for
absolutely.
having me. Yeah.
So I have a question for all of our listeners and for you, the business owner. My question is this: are you the MVP right now? And if you are you ready to be the coach?
Mm.
If you are the coach, is it time for you to perhaps have another location or be an investor, be the owner of the team and hire coaches so that you can truly scale? This is what it's going to take to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So if you want help with that, reach out to Jerry and me, BBMMUSA.com. That's Business Builders Mentor Mastermind USA.com, BBMMUSA.com. Or please reach out to Jhana at, but it's
Spyglass Ops.
spyglass.com. Spyglass Ops.
Spyglassops.com. Yeah.
Perfect. Any last words from either of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember our 2-day event, Money, Freedom, Legacy, at the end of March. You can find that at our website, www.bbmmusa.com. Find out information about that. Show up. It will change your life. Promise. And Jhana, thank you so much
Thank you
for
guys.
being the fireball of life that you are and bringing it all with you every day. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. This is really, really fun.
Thank you for articulating this so clearly. I absolutely, this is so beneficial for everyone, truly.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Good luck, everybody.
See you next time.
Grow and get answers to your business and investment questions that provide clarity, move you forward, and inspire you to reach your goals. Share the show and connect with us at BBMMUSA.com to submit questions and learn more. That's BBMMUSA.com.